I'd like to take you through the different options in the Setup and Control app. If you go into the settings on the speaker, you'll see a lot of different settings that you can adjust on the speaker. So let's go through them one by one. The first one is primary and client. What this does is it allows you to set which speaker is the primary speaker. Is it the left or the right? So the advantage of that is that you get to decide where to connect your different sources to the loudspeaker. You're not fixed on connecting the sources to the left or the right speaker. You can simply adjust that in the settings. So if your primary speaker, which is the one with all the connections, is on the left, you leave it on the left. Otherwise, you select the right speaker. The setting is saved automatically when you exit the settings screen. The next step is the frequency balance. That is relatively simple. Inside the frequency balance setting, you have a choice between bright, neutral or dark. Choosing the bright setting increases the tweeter level 1.5 dB and lowers the bass 1.5 dB. And vice versa, the dark setting increased the bass setting 1.5 dB and decreased the tweeter 1.5 dB. So the next option is the room optimization setting. Inside this setting, you have an option that is separate for each loudspeaker. Currently it's set to neutral. If I go into that, I can select between neutral, corner or wall. So as you might imagine, this is a setting that allows you to change the EQ of the loudspeaker depending on where you're placing it inside your room. So if you have it close to the wall, you can select the wall setting. Then that will decrease the bass level of the loudspeaker a little bit to compensate for the increase in bass that you normally get for a speaker close to a wall. Do the same thing separately for each speaker if they are placed differently in the listening room. At the bottom you will find a direct live setting. This is only visible if you have actually uploaded a room correction filter through direct to the loudspeakers. So that allows you to turn that filter on or off inside the app without going into the direct live software. There is a button labeled Startup, which allows you to choose between a quick startup setting or an energy saving setting. So what this basically does is, if you allow the speaker to use a little bit more standby power, it can start up more quickly. That will take about 3 seconds every time you turn on the speaker. If you would like to have as low power consumption as possible, you choose the energy saving settings, and then you'll have only 2 watts of standby power, but it takes the speaker around 19 seconds to boot up. The next setting is the speaker finish setting. Here you can choose which finish your speakers have. All this does is essentially to make sure that the image you see on the screen of the setting is the same as the finish you have on your actual loudspeaker. Just a nice little added bonus.